This is the Worst Birthday Podcast. I'm Michael Kosta. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's Thursday, and we upload a new episode every Thursday, a new Worst Birthday. Why Thursday, Michael? Well, because people are getting ready for the weekend. People have big birthday plans on the weekend, so I think Thursdays gives you enough time to download and then listen to, maybe digest Friday, and maybe it helps you with your birthday plans. Maybe it helps make them bigger so the disappointment is greater. Maybe it helps you tame them down so you're not as bummed out. I don't root for bad birthdays. They just happen automatically sometimes. So we have a great show this week. We have a great show every week. Really appreciate when you guys tweet to us using hashtag WorstBDayPod. It's a nice way to meet all of you. I really appreciate that. You can always tweet to me at Michael Kosta. This week's guest, Steve Simeone. Tweet to him. Tweet to both of us. Tell Steve you enjoyed listening to his story. This guy is very unique. He's very funny. He's got a great outlook on life. And he's just a positive dude, does a lot of charity work. If you go to his Twitter page, it's just all these different charities he's working for. It's real. It's not bullshit. A lot of people do this stuff to get attention or to work up the ladder of entertainment. With Steve, it's real. He's genuinely helping and wants to help. I have some new dates on speaking of a genuine person who wants to help, not me. I'm genuine, but live dates can be found at michaelkosta.com. I just got booked New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. We're already talking New Year's Eve. You talk about disappointments. New Year's Eve, I'll be at the Arlington Draft House the weekend of New Year's Eve. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think New Year's Eve is on a Saturday this year. Oh, fuck. People are going to be a mess. I'm checking that as we speak. On Saturday is New Year's Eve. Oh, shit. Lower your expectations already, everybody. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, maybe you just do a casual dinner at home and then come out to the Arlington Draft House and watch Michael Kosta perform comedy. First time I ever played at the Arlington Draft House, there's a marquee up, and they play movies after the comedy show sometimes, and Jackass 3 had just come out. So the marquee said, Michael Kosta, Jackass 3. I know. Took a picture of it. Ladies and gentlemen, please tweet to Steve Simeone at Steve Simeone. Tweet to me at Michael Kosta. Leave us a rating and a review. That's always appreciated. I hope you enjoyed this week Worst Birthday Podcast. We're on the All Things Comedy Network. And thank you so much for listening. Enjoy Steve. We'll see you on the other end. Happy Worst Birthday.
My younger brother had a buddy in high school that was deaf, but he would always call my younger brother through the relay center.
Is that because he could like type it out? Or
yes.
Whatever? Okay.
And then that way, that kid would get beer underage because nobody would say, "Do you have your ID?"
Yeah.
Like he looked like he could be 21, but since he was deaf, he was like, "Bro, it's the golden ticket.
Yeah.
I get served everywhere." Because then he'd make it really extra uncomfortable for the person where they'd be like, just take it.
Just take it.
You don't even have to pay for it, sir. God bless you.
Well, that is, you hear military personnel talk about, I was addicted to painkillers or whatever. And I just kept getting free shit because I'd go to the bar and I kept getting, because I was served, you know, and it's like, yeah, you got a limp in your right leg because you took a fucking because you fought for our country. Yeah, well,
whatever you need, man.
Whatever you fucking need.
Yep.
And deaf, but I just thought this was a great scam. One of my friends bought Lakers tickets. Was supposed to exchange face to face. The person calls and says, "Fuck, I'm in Orlando. The flight is all screwed up." You could hear like boarding announcements.
Yeah,
you could hear an airport.
Yes,
which obviously you can just probably play airport on YouTube and it would show up. Right. And he goes, but I did FedEx you the tickets. If you could just wire me the money. Again, if they say wire you the money, don't wire anyone money. So he had a tracking number on the FedEx. The wire goes through, the FedEx arrives, it's empty.
Wow.
Calls the number's toast. And it was a good deal on the tickets. It wasn't like crazy, but it was just good enough where you would say yes.
Yeah.
And he probably did it 50 to 50 people.
Significant amount of money.
It's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of money. Wow. I'm here with Steve Simeone. Have you been rigged on the Craigslist, or have you gotten close or anything?
No.
Are you a skeptical person? Because you seem like an optimistic, happy.
Yeah, I'm very
person.
optimistic and happy, but there's not much that I want.
No.
And one of the most interesting things, I read a book years and years ago by this world-class con man, and he said essentially what makes a con work is somebody's greed.
Yeah.
That the person's greed will convince them that it's the right thing to do.
I like that.
And David Taylor once said that you can't con an honest person.
Right.
So there's nothing really I want.
Yeah.
You know?
You have what you need.
Yeah. And then if it's an offer that's too good to be true, it's like...
I think where they normally screw it up is they make it just a little too good.
Yes.
I looked at this apartment once in West Hollywood, and it was so sick.
Yes.
And I reached out, and the guy's like, well, I'm the owner, but I live in Greece, blah, blah, blah. And I went, and it's like, what? And then I went and looked at the apartment, but it had a for sale sign on it. And I call the realtor, and she's like, I'm the realtor. It's for sale. No one is renting this apartment.
Right.
It's a scam. But the guy was just asking for a $500 deposit. I was ready to do it.
Wow.
My own greed.
Yeah.
You're the perfect human, according to Steve Simeone. I mean, Jesus Christ, right out of the gate.
No, and then
3 minutes in, he says
there's stuff. There's just stuff where I'm like, I don't really.
What's your vice? Do you have a vice? Do you drink?
Every once in a while, not really.
Do you smoke or anything? Do you eat?
I recently gave up chewing tobacco.
Oh.
Skull was a tough one for me.
Okay.
That nicotine. And I still... There are times where I'm like, should I just go? And I won't do it.
Just dip.
I'm trying my best not to do it.
It was just like the winter cut or whatever? Is that what winter green? What is it?
Mint.
Yeah,
Skull mint.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in suburban Philadelphia and then went to college in Baltimore. And that's where I picked up that habit.
I always associate dip with baseball.
Yeah, I was a non-athlete. I wasn't good at anything. I was a born observer.
So how
from just hanging out.
How does one learn to dip? Because for me, it was the athlete thing because it doesn't screw with your lungs and you could still get high and blah blah blah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a buddy of mine that he was a baseball player, and he was just like, "You ever try this?"
He was a baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
Why do they love dip so much? Seems like there's a lot of different sports, but dip.
Many athletes though do it.
Yeah.
Like I remember once watching a documentary on Larry Bird.
Yeah.
People forget he's from Kentucky.
Oh, this
right?
Guy, Indiana? Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky, French Lick,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
So like when he just opened up his refrigerator, and I remember he had like 15 cans of Copenhagen, and he would pour bourbon into it.
That's fucking
and
disgusting.
I'm like,
people used to do that, or still do it in my college.
Yeah.
And then they would put them in the freezer.
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, he was white trash, for sure. He was. I mean, Larry Bird was white trash, but. All you had to do was look at his mustache. But what
everything about that guy's fantastic. The stash, the hair, the bravado, everything about him. I was a Sixers fan growing up, so I hated him.
Okay, so what's happening now? Because now, Vegas is like the over/under to start the season is like they're going to win 17 games or something. I mean, they're like one of the worst franchises ever.
By design.
Is it?
Yeah, they did whatever. Like, unfortunately, I'm just a casual sports fan at this point in my life. But I think the way the NBA is designed, you need like essentially 2 Hall of Famers on your squad
to
make it happen.
Sure.
And the only way to really get those guys is through the draft. So you're really not going to accomplish anything by being mediocre.
Right. You got to lose.
So you have to tank it.
To get #1 draft pick,
yep,
and get the most amount of lottery picks or whatever.
Exactly, and that was their strategy. And then this year they finally paid off with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
So do you rep Philly then?
Always.
That's your shit.
Yep.
Did you know Eleanor Kerrigan?
I did not before I got to the Comedy Store.
You didn't?
No.
Because who else is Philly in L.A.?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many in comedy.
Yeah, there's a lot in comedy.
Like a ton.
Joe DeRosa,
Metzger, Kevin Hart, Big J, Neil Brennan, Adam McKay, Tina Fey, Tim and Eric.
Those are all Philly?
All Philly. Philly's
interesting.
quietly had this unbelievable comedy renaissance.
That's so funny.
Like, I remember one of the first open mics I ever did was, I remember Big J closed it out.
Yep.
And there was a kid from North Philly who introduced himself to me as Lil Kev.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Lil Kev.
Yeah, now it's the biggest comedian in the world.
I mean, maybe the most profitable movie star. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. He's the biggest thing
Was
in
he
the
funny?
world. Yeah.
He was funny.
And so nice.
Yeah.
He was so nice. I remember him. I only did like 2 or 3 open mics.
Yeah.
But I remember him. He was like, dude, I'm a North Philly legend. I'm gonna get you. You got to come with me. They'll love you. He was like,
Really?
you're crazy, bro. He was like, people would love you. He was like, you got to come hang with me in my hood.
And did you always tell kind of, I mean, because now, and correct me if I'm wrong, we used to work together a lot, and then now.
Yeah, and then you got famous and busy.
Yeah, it's so famous. But no, we were put together a lot on the
Yeah.
And I would love hearing your childhood stories, and are you still, is that the world you were always in?
No, I think comedy we got to keep it evolving.
For sure.
For me, I started to filter my comedy through, like, first you just try to be funny.
Sure.
Right? And then I was always like, what's the most honest thing? What's the most honest thing? And my comedy started to get really dark.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this
Honesty's dark. It's something that people don't want to hear, too.
Right. But then I was like, what is the most honest? Keep digging. Look deeper.
Yeah.
And then I started to tap into all this positivity.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I'm at a point now where last night I did a show where it was almost like motivational speaking.
Really?
Like, because I was like, the world's so bad right now. Just turn off your TV. I go, this is what you have. You want to, I go, don't watch any more news.
Yeah.
And just love the person in front of you.
Yeah.
I go, we will change the world.
That's true.
I was like, just be as kind and as loving to the person in front of you right now.
It's true.
And that's it. And I started to talk about that and gratitude and how everything we've been taught to believe what we want is an illusion. It's not about money.
Sure.
It's not about how we define success as bananas.
Sure.
It's like you wake
Especially
up, be grateful.
in this country.
Oh, we're so...
Yeah.
We hit the lotto just by being born Americans.
Correct.
I mean, the homeless people in America are fat. What's
Correct.
that tell you about
They got
our society?
headshots.
Yes.
Yeah, they got
Seriously.
I mean, well, one of the jokes you do, and I hate saying jokes because it's a story, but is being a kid and having the sleepover.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
I got to put that on a CD.
It's so funny, and it's like it's optimistic. And I remember watching you perform it at the Comedy Store. This like dark place.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really, if you hang out in the back door of the Comedy Store, like, you know, you can leave and like want to just walk into Sunset and have a bus. I mean, it is a dark, raw place, and to hear you tell a story that's like using these kids' voices and the whole audience who's been hearing
vicious,
yeah, some funny, some unfunny, but vicious, dark, brutally honest comedy, and then to see them laugh at a long story you have about being a kid. And is it the first sleepover, or it's just a sleepover as a kid?
That was just how much fun they were.
And every single person is relating.
Yeah.
Because every single person has done that.
Yeah, and I think what it comes down to is like, just from a comedic point of view, it's like you have that choice.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine last night, and I was like, if you want to complain and say everything sucks, I'm like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, yep.
You want to... I go... But not everything. I mean, I'm like, there's still puppies and ice cream, right?
Yeah, right.
So it's like...
You talk about that.
Yeah, let's focus on that.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't mean the bad stuff's not there. I'm not one of those, like, just think positive and it'll go. I'm like, no, you're absolutely right. That does suck.
Yeah.
But what can we control, and what is there to celebrate? Because the way I look at life is it flies by, man.
Yeah.
It's gone in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
And it serves nothing by being miserable.
No.
And when I was in my early 20s, I thought it meant I understood more.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, wait, I was an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you're growing.
Yes.
There's growth. And comedically, you have to make a choice. I mean, you can't go back. Maybe you could go back and forth, but that would be tougher. Hey, here's a be positive joke. Here's a fucking
It's funny that
Black
you mentioned
Lives
that.
Matter joke. It'd be tough.
What I would like to do is I want to do a show up in the belly room.
Yeah.
And I just want to call it It's Not My Voice.
Right.
And to give comedians an
that'd be fun.
opportunity.
That'd be fun.
To like, wouldn't it be great to hear somebody that's a great joke teller tell a long story?
Sure.
Or have somebody that's super, like if we got Louis up there and he was like, here's my favorite thing in the world. Like, wouldn't that be?
I'm going to talk about birth instead of death. That's what,
Right.
that's what Louis would do. Yeah.
Right, it'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be funny. It's a good idea.
Because sometimes you do get limited by that comedic persona.
Yeah.
But I try to keep everything as open and as honest as possible.
Yeah.
Because I think like once you break through that misery, it all starts to get beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't want to speak out of turn here because I'm certainly not a Jewish person, but it's like, people in the concentration camps would find, they would
Life
sing
is Beautiful
songs.
is one of my favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I just quoted that today.
That's a great movie. It shows here he is like in this miserable, terrible, dark place, and he's dancing for this kid.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
Yeah, it's a great movie. When's your birthday?
June 28th.
June 28th. We kind of just had it.
Yeah, I share it with Gilda Radner and Mel Brooks.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
It's a pretty good comedy birthday.
You want to talk about, looking on the positive side. Gilda Radner, she has all these Gilda's clubs.
Yeah,
are you familiar with those?
Yeah, I want to do a show for them.
I mean, it's like she, her legacy lives on through her comedy, but
absolutely,
even more importantly, it's bigger. What's gotten bigger is that these clubs they help people that have cancer and their families. Awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. Have you done Laugh Fest in Grand Rapids?
No.
Yeah, because that's the big one, and that's all Gilda's. So that's I toured the place there, and it's like, it's just here I am bitching about something on social media, or I'm mad about this, or the hotel isn't what I want. It's like you walk through the door there, and you're like, shut the fuck up, Michael. Yeah, it's like these are real issues.
Real issues. Yeah, I spent a lot of time at Children's Hospital and other. It's awesome.
Still?
Yeah.
How do you?
We have a big blood drive coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday and Saturday.
I think I'm O positive. Pretty common.
Yeah. Whatever, man, dude.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I would. Please.
I would love to
because they need blood, and that's one of those things where it's so easy for people to get involved. Yeah. But in all honesty, like maybe cynically or I never thought a blood drive was that big a deal. I'm like, that's stuff sorority girls do to feel like I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I didn't think it was that necessary.
Yeah.
But then when I got to literally see the difference it made, like there was a little guy I used to go visit in the bone marrow transplant unit. And the day before he needed a transfusion, it was like a toy that didn't have batteries.
Right.
And then the next day after that, the kid's he's a kid again.
Yeah, he's got fucking blood.
Yes, you're not only you literally keeping these kids alive, but you're drastically improving their quality of life. And what I think, I don't want to get up on a soapbox, but people need to hear this.
Yeah, bring it up.
We live in a city, Los Angeles, second biggest city in the country.
Yeah.
They don't have enough donors.
Yeah, that's
crazy. For the kids at Children's Hospital. That's insane to me.
Well, I was talking to this with somebody. I go, man, I want to do charitable work, and I'm so intimidated. I have no idea where to start.
This is it.
Well,
I hooked up with somebody called, like I just started to do stuff on my own. I went down there for a blood drive.
Sure.
And what you said, when you just show up at Gilda's house and you go, oh, wait a second.
All of a sudden, it's just like, take a break, bro. It's like, this is real.
Yeah, it's real.
Your life is a little video fantasy game. This is real.
100% so.
Yeah.
I could, and to me, that's what God is seeing somebody that needs help and having this feeling that you want to help.
Sure.
And I remember just getting off the elevators at Children's Hospital for the first time, and I'm like, oh, this is whatever I can do to help.
Yeah.
And it just started to snowball.
Sure.
And then I met this guy named John McNichol who started a company called Regular Hero.
John's a big listener. Thanks, John, for listening. John McNichol. Regular Hero.
Yeah. And he was just like, you don't need to, he was like, just make the world better one at a time, one person at a time.
I like that.
So he does all kinds of cool stuff, and I partnered up with him, and I do some stuff down at Children's Hospital, but he works with the homeless. He works with vets with PTSD. He works with at-risk kids. He works with countries where they need drinking water.
Yeah, like the most basic thing. Stuff, we have too much sitting in front of us.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
I always want to do stuff for prisoners.
Me too.
Doesn't that, I always feel like, kids it's terrible when something bad happens to them.
Yes.
Vets, it's like the worst.
Yeah.
Prisoners, they kind of already fucked up, probably.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, I think a lot of society is like, yeah, you're kind of getting what you deserve, but it's also like we imprison so many people.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
They have no rights.
It's absolutely
terrible.
ridiculous. And then here's the thing: even if they deserve it, we're all human.
Oh my God,
we all mess up.
And like, based on my socioeconomic class, I don't get in trouble, and based off of yours, you're
100% so.
And so I always wanted to do a comedy show in jail. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about right now.
Do you know you have to look up Homeboy Industries? Do you know anything about them?
No. Here we go.
Book. There's this book called Tattoos on the Heart.
Okay.
Stories of Boundless Compassion or something.
Okay.
And there's
some bullshit like that.
Some priest named Father Gregory Boyle that started this nonprofit.
Okay.
In Boyle Heights, which is like one of the roughest neighborhoods in the world.
Yeah, you hear Boyle Heights. I know what's up.
Yeah. And it's all their slogan is nothing stops a bullet like a job. And then it's jobs, not jails. And they rehab people coming out of the prison system, give them job skills.
Which is what the prisons are supposed to do.
Right.
But they don't rehabilitate. They just punish you.
Just a big business.
I was thinking about that, like, man, do I get in trouble when I'm not working? Mm-hmm. Just go to, if you're placed to go do something, even if it's just go to Starbucks for 2 hours, I just am already better than
Absolutely.
Whatever. You can always find a bar that's open, or it's like you always get in some shit when you're just not working.
Absolutely.
That's what I like about the podcast. It's like it gives us something to do sometimes when...
And what I love is this. It's getting to hang out with a buddy that you wouldn't be at. And I'm like, this is the greatest.
I got to go do this thing.
Yeah.
June 28th.
Yeah.
Okay. What were birthdays like for you growing up? That's a summer birthday time.
Yep.
Good time?
Okay. First off, I was always a little bit jealous of the kids whose birthdays were during the school year because they got to bring in the cupcakes.
Well, that's what
I always wanted the attention of handing out cupcakes on my birthday. Right. And then they would also get to hand out cupcakes to the hot chick teachers
for sure.
that weren't their teacher. And I remember my one buddy in like fourth grade, Robbie Katoya, he was like, you want to, I forget there was like Miss Martian or something like that.
Yeah.
And we got to give her a cupcake.
She was hot.
Yeah, totally hot.
Isn't that funny? And she's probably, at the time she was probably 27.
Yeah.
And it's like now we're older than her. I always think that's funny. Like the teacher that I thought was so hot, like I'm probably 12 years older than her at this point.
It's the best.
This is the best. I had a birthday during the school year, and I always...
When's your birthday?
September 27th. Is it September?
Right at the beginning of the school year, though. Instant attention. You're a cool kid.
It's cool. But I always... I would throw parties, and there would be a lot of other... First of all, September is the most common month for birthday.
Huh.
It's 9 months back is New Year's Eve and Christmas. That's when...
Gotcha.
We're just basically rats. We all have sex at the same time. But I want you to be positive with Steve Simeone here. I always liked the summer birthdays because you could do a thing and all the kids were around. Like for me, it was like I need to be on a weekend.
Yeah.
There's conflicts. Summer, everyone's out of school.
But that when you're a real little kid, when you're out of school, if you don't live in your neighborhood,
sure, it's bye-bye.
Yeah. So like when I was a little guy, I had my school friends and my neighborhood friends, and I was fortunate that there was some overlap there.
Okay, got it.
But my younger brother didn't have that.
He didn't have that?
He just had his neighborhood clique and his school clique.
And they're much different.
Yeah, but here's okay.
Yeah,
there's so many great things about summer birthdays.
Drop some heat.
The best thing about having a summer birthday was when you're a little kid, you don't have any money.
Yeah.
So I had two major events that it was stuff that I could grab things I needed. It was Christmas or my birthday.
Right.
And I always felt bad for kids whose birthdays were right near Christmas.
For sure.
I'm like,
you've got almost 6 months, almost
perfect.
exactly.
Exactly. It was perfect.
So what would you ask for as a kid?
Toys.
Yeah.
Toys and cool stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing that made my birthday magical when I was a little kid was my younger brother and I are Irish twins.
Okay.
We are 51 weeks apart.
Okay, got it.
So his birthday is June 21st.
What's an Irish twin? Because someone told this to me yesterday, and I felt like it was. Is it super close to each other?
It's kids that are not fraternal or paternal twins that are born within 52 weeks.
So mom and dad had birth
got busy.
and they got busy. Boom.
Yeah.
That's great. A lot of love in that family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a big deal. Like Marky's birthday was on the 21st.
His name's Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were the same age for a week. It was a glorious week, brother week.
Wow, that's cool.
And then my birthday was the 28th. And I know this sounds crazy, but this is how I viewed the world as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I was like, there's Marky's birthday.
Yeah.
Then there's my birthday.
Yeah.
And then I honestly thought the 4th of July was when the entire country celebrated both of our birthdays.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
So I
makes
thought it was
perfect
just,
sense.
It was just a continuation. I'm like, party, party, party.
And then we do a combination. And there are enough days, it's 7 days from his birthday, and it's a brown 7 days to July 4th.
Yeah, it was perfect.
How old were you when you realized that wasn't the case?
I know you wanted to talk about my stinkiest birthday.
Yeah, sure. Stinkiest.
And it was like, it was my 8th birthday.
Okay, I want to hear about it.
All right, man. So, like I said.
8th birthday. This fascinates me that people fucking remember this stuff.
Yes.
Amazing.
It's awesome. It's so awesome.
Well, we remember
it's all so good.
We remember, what we care about, but we remember what we have emotions attached to.
Yeah.
And so obviously this affected you emotionally because you remember it.
Yeah, and I'm a little autistic or something. I remember everything.
I don't think that's a characteristic of autism.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just inventing things.
It's your 8th birthday.
Yeah, and let me just first go on record.
Frame it.
Like, I don't really celebrate my birthday. Like, I'm not one of those grown-ups.
Sure.
Like, I kind of feel bad.
Sure.
For adults that, in my opinion, are probably trying to compensate for what they didn't get as a kid.
I think you're right.
When I see an adult like that takes Halloween too seriously,
yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
you need a hug more than Will Hunting. Like, there's something sad going on.
Something is up.
Bro, I picked out my costume. I'm like, you're 36 years old.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Hand out candy to little kids, make it about them.
Well, like a lot of women put on the super sexy thing, and it's like,
oh, it's so sad.
I mean, it's beautiful, fun to look at, but it's like you're really trying to cover something up here. Something's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like the girl that goes as like fucking like Bigfoot or something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not sexy.
Dude, that's a great little subplot in a movie.
I love that. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because look, man, I killed Halloween as a kid. I'm like, and it was for being a kid.
Yeah, right. It's a kid.
I feel the same way about my birthdays. I'm a man. I don't care.
Sure.
It's like, yeah.
What did you do? And I'm going to interrupt you a lot, but what did you do this last birthday? It was a few weeks ago.
I ordered Chinese food and I sat by myself and watched Netflix.
Really? And you were happy?
And enjoyed a night of quiet.
That's nice.
That's exactly what it was.
Did you do comedy that night?
No.
No.
I was just like, I'm good, dude.
It's a gift. It's a gift to not. I mean, it's a gift that we're lucky that we get to do comedy. But every once in a while, stop doing it and fucking have some Chinese food.
You have to.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to live, because I think as comics we get so focused on our careers that we rob ourselves of the joy of living.
Well, that's what Ryan and Stout and I were just talking about.
Really?
He's canceled a gig and he canceled this podcast to go to New York with a girl.
Awesome.
And it was last minute. And I go, that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to live, man.
You're going to live and then write jokes about what happened. Yeah, exactly.
In the long term, it's a better strategy.
It's a better strategy. All right, so you're 8.
I'm 8 years old. Okay.
You're turning 8.
I'm turning 8. So I'm actually a 7-year-old kid.
Okay.
And I remember this. Okay.
Yeah.
The family vacation.
Yeah.
We were going to go to Virginia Beach, and it was a big one because Mom, and Pop were coming with us.
Okay.
And my grandparents.
Got it.
So there was a limited amount of dates. Okay.
Sure.
So the week vacation that lined up best for everybody would be, we would have we'd have my younger brother's birthday, throw him the whole party. He'd have his magical day. Then we'd go to the beach, and then we would come back home on my birthday.
Okay.
I
don't think that's ideal.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
When I was a little guy, birthdays, they were legitimately magical.
Yeah.
And you don't, as a child, you don't realize that adults make like, I have a whole bit now about seeing my parents as humans.
Right.
And loving them more because of that.
Right.
Like, I didn't appreciate my mother.
Sure.
As a kid, she just I thought she was like a non-human, like a creature that just took care of me and my brothers.
Eric Griffin said on his podcast, as a kid, you want the government to pay for everything, and the government is your parents. You just think it just happens.
Yeah.
You don't have any. Yeah. You didn't see your mom as a real.
Yeah.
thing.
I thought it was like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
Give me a hug, Mom. Make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
And I thought she was magic. Like, I legitimately thought she was like this magical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have a joke about watching her make a sandwich. I'm like, I don't know how she does it. And my little brother's like, I know it starts off as bread, but then she makes it delicious. Like, You know what I mean? Because I could see all the ingredients. I'm like, how do you put them together? I don't know.
Yeah. And you still can't do it as well as you
No
chance. No chance.
So I remember they explained it to me. They were like, sweetie, if this is the way it is, it's going to affect your birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but beach? Yeah, let's go to the beach, bro. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. And I was like, and then we come back and it's my birthday? But I think they were trying to explain that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
This is what I thought. Okay, when I was, say, turned 7, I woke up and it was my day.
Yeah.
It was like Christmas.
Yeah.
But just for me.
Yeah.
And we would wake up and there would be gifts wrapped and balloons hanging. Like, you know how like Santa Claus would come in the night?
Yeah.
My birthday presents would come in them. I would wake up and it would be my birthday. There would be streamers and balloons and awesomeness.
So, and this is your mom and your dad?
Yes.
Doing this?
Doing it, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
And then it was just waiting for my party that night. We did all my parties at my house. And it was great.
Sweet.
Like, I really think, like, when I was 4 years old, I essentially was famous.
Right.
Like, the whole world lined up to kiss my ass.
Right.
They all wanted a picture with me.
Yeah.
I'd scribble something on a piece of paper. They'd hang it up.
They loved it.
Everywhere I went, people would tell me how cute I was.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is
It
how
kind
you're
of
supposed to
is.
live.
It kind of is being famous.
That's it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's why the destruction of innocence is so tough, because it's like I had the world in my hand.
Yes.
I was 5 or 4. Right. Right.
Yeah, like I peaked at 4.
Yeah.
Kindergarten kicked my ass and I'm still recovering. So we go to the beach and now I'm thinking, I'm like, well, the birthday magic's just going to happen because it's my birthday. And how could June 28th exist without birthday magic?
Sure.
And on the positive, I remember my grandmother taking me shop, letting me pick out some gifts at like souvenir stands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's in storage somewhere, but I had one of those sweet coconuts that they made look like a pirate.
Awesome.
Like, that's as good as life gets. I'm like, it's a coconut and a pirate? Come on, bro.
I love that I asked Steve, who's maybe the most positive, optimistic person, about something that's bad. The worst birthday. This is great. This is a fun.
Yeah, it's
fun watching your brain, like, piece this together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Because ultimately, it's all amazing.
Yeah.
But so then I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm going to get my birthday gifts before my birthday.
Coconut.
But then, like, we wake up in a hotel room, and I'm like, where's the birthday magic? And I think there might have been something there.
I'm sure
like,
your mom did something.
But then pretty much the whole day's driving back.
Yeah. And how far is that to Philly?
Well, I think we were in Virginia Beach, so it was probably like a good 5-6 hours.
And probably the same way my family. I mean, you drove on vacation.
Yeah, drove.
Right? Their flying was
Holiday
not a thing.
road.
Yeah. Exactly. It was you drove on a vacation.
Yeah.
Gas was 14 cents a gallon.
Dude, it was the best.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Looking for fireworks and like all kinds of cool souvenirs. Dad, fireworks, pull over, fireworks, fireworks.
Yeah.
It's the greatest.
My dad was always like, kids stay free, under 12. Like kids, you have to hide underneath the seats and and we'd all be sleeping in one hotel room. I mean, now I would
be greatest.
Yeah, now I'd be miserable, but yeah, that's great.
That's the thing I want parents to keep. Like, I have a friend of mine who's a comic who's on a ridiculous family vacation, one of those this week, and he was like, how am I not going to lose my mind? And I was like, focus on the kids.
Yeah. Because
memories forever.
We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and my brother bought a knife. A small knife, and we still joke about like he wasn't allowed to buy the knife, but he bought it anyways, and we were in the back seat showing the knife, and it was just like, yeah, my dad was probably thinking work or we got to get home or this and this, and we're going like, we got this knife. It was so sweet,
amazing, right?
Amazing.
Like I remember getting a switchblade comb when I was like sitting, and I'm like,
oh my life,
no one does it better. Like or like one of those giant novelty cigars, a switchblade comb, like all that junk you can buy at tourist traps.
So fun.
I'm all for it.
So you're in the car.
Yeah.
For your birthday.
Yeah, and I'm like, and in my brain, I think this one, it dawned on everybody that I expected birthday magic.
Yeah.
And I've always been kind of very optimistic, and I'm like, well, when we get home, it'll be my birthday.
Is Mark like that?
He is optimistic, but he's much smarter than I am.
Where does this optimism come from? What parent?
Neither.
No. So maybe it's a.
It was probably born out of necessity.
It's probably a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Because being a middle child and a crazy loud house.
So Mark's younger than you.
Yeah, and Chris is the oldest.
Chris is on this trip as well.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Of course he is.
Okay, when's
calling the shots?
When's Chris's birthday?
August 14th.
Wow. Okay. All summer birthdays.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Chris. How you doing? Hey, Mark. So you get home and there's not birthday magic.
Yeah. So then I'm assuming like, oh God, as soon as we get home though, there will be balloons and streamers.
Yeah.
And then it sort of dawns on me like, wait, there's no birthday magic because all the people that make it happen were in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I started to go, wait, maybe there's more to all this.
Yeah. Ooh, wow.
Right?
Yep.
And I start, like, June 28th goes on whether it's my birthday or not. And there's, like, serious life lessons starting to pile on it.
Sure.
And then this is what made it stinkier, though.
Stinkier.
It wasn't like they opened up the closet.
Who uses stinkier as a word?
It's the best.
That's a good one.
Like, you couldn't have bought my gifts in advance and just had them wrapped in the closet?
Right.
That couldn't have happened?
Right, so this is what you're thinking now.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed. I'm like, now I got to go with you guys as you could do my birthday shopping.
Right.
Then that's what we did. Then my brothers would have to like distract me when I was in the store.
So you went, you got home and you went and did that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I do remember this. My mom tried to cover up the gifts in the cart or whatever at the store called Clover. I remember vividly.
Clover?
Yeah. And then, because they had a pretty good toy section.
Yeah.
And I do remember one of the gifts I got that birthday, so it wasn't all lost.
Okay.
I do remember getting Connect 4.
Yeah.
Because I liked the chick on the commercial, which was like pretty sneaky, sis. And then
I don't
wanted
remember
to play
that. I will have to find that YouTube. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Oh, it's one of the best 80s cartoon commercials ever.
So I find this interesting that you were finding out it was a stinky birthday, and then the family then took you shopping.
Yeah.
I mean, did Steve call some of the shots? Did the kids call the shots like that? If I said this is a stinky birthday in my house, they'd go, sorry, it's stinky. Good night.
No, because I think it was this. There was always the understanding that on your birthday you're going to get gifts.
Got it.
And up until that point, I didn't get them yet.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep, I got it. And it would be super tough for the parents to plan all this.
Yeah, you look at it, it's impossible.
It's impossible to a week
because you're planning a vacation. Plus, there's in-laws involved.
Grandma and grandpa are coming.
You can't. You're getting the whole because, like, we were raised like monkeys. So like three little boys under the age of 10. It's chaos.
Your mom. It was your poor mom. I mean,
I don't know how she did it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember my dad would like drive home and stay in his car for as long as possible before he had to come in the house.
I think that's a Judd Apatow scene in some movie where the man of the house is just in his car, like fine with it.
And my dad would read the paper in the driveway.
Yeah,
he had the air conditioner on, a Hershey's Big Block, sports talk radio. And
hell yeah!
We'd be like, was that Dad? I'm like, wait, is that Dad? And we're looking at, there's Dad. Yeah. And he would just wave from the car, okay, buddies, 5 more minutes. And then we'd get back into doing what we were doing. And then 20 minutes, half an hour, we're like, did Dad ever come in? I don't know. Did Dad come in? No, he's still outside. Attack. And then we jump on his car like monkeys in a drive-through safari.
That's so fun. I've even done it in my apartment where I've just stayed in my car and not gone in. There's nobody in the apartment. But I just like, once you walk in the door, like kind of real life happens.
Interesting.
You got like dishes to do, or you got like an email. It was just nice. It's just like the solace of your car. And I'm sure your dad was appreciating that.
Absolutely.
What was his work? What did he do?
He was a math teacher.
Okay.
Math professor.
He must have been good with kids, I would think.
Yeah, he was kind of in a lot of ways like a big kid himself.
Okay, got it.
Like he would get into it.
Yeah. Do you want kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But now I'm getting so old where I'm like, maybe it won't happen.
Right.
It's so tough, like, to find a woman that, number one, wants that.
Yeah.
And then number two...
In L.A., it's tougher.
Yeah, I think many of the girls I meet are more like Janice Rossi from Goodfellas than somebody that would be a good mom.
Yeah. You may need just to move to Michigan or...
But you know what, dude?
Georgia.
Everybody says that.
And is that not true?
I travel a lot. I think society's just changed to the point where...
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the last girl I dated, she would have been a great mom. She definitely wanted that. And that's like, that was like kind of like the thing that was keeping us together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we want the same stuff out of life.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, like, you have to have a...
Try to be nice. You don't have to be nice, but...
But it's like, there's going to be so much, like when that kid shows up.
Yeah.
It's just like, let's keep it like that's where all your energy and attention has to go. And that's tough for people to realize that they're not the most important thing.
Yeah, it is. I also think, and you don't know this till it happens, unfortunately, but I think if someone is a little selfish in their life or self-absorbed and the kid happens, I think some of that naturally does change. Just chemically.
Yes.
I think it's just like, because I think about, this is a self-absorbed business.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got a dog and all of it, and that's not even close. It's 1% of a kid, probably. Yep. And all of a sudden, you do have to think about something else other than yourself 24 hours a day. It just has to change.
I honestly think women get magical powers when they become moms.
Do. Well, they have magical powers in the first place.
They do, legitimate. We don't stop and think about it.
No, they absolutely
But it's like, you didn't exist, I didn't exist, you didn't exist.
No. Aaron actually has existed. He's a ghost that's lived forever. No, but you're right. The whole thing is magic. Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's great, and they do it.
Yes,
we don't do it.
100%.
Yeah, we don't.
And then also, they pick us, man.
Totally.
Yeah,
of course.
People go, how come you're not married? Because nobody picked me yet. That's why.
Watch any.
We have a whole we all think we're in charge. No, dude.
They pick us.
They pick us.
Watch any planet Earth.
Yep.
Watch any mating sequence. Birds, the male in a lot of species cleans an area on the forest floor, literally cleans their face, does a dance for the woman, and the woman looks at it and then goes away. Picks another bird. It is men constantly showing off for their selection.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And more than not, it does not happen.
No.
I don't know how we got talking about this, but
it's hilarious and awesome.
So 8th birthday, you get Connect 4, and then you come home and it's probably bedtime, isn't it? You're 8. I can't believe you remember some of this stuff.
Oh, I remember. This is what I think happened. On the road early.
Yeah.
My dad was a big believer in that. And there's also something kind of magical about that. It adds to it. I'm a big believer in manipulating time to make things seem cooler.
Okay.
When you wake up before the sun's up and then you sleep in the car and you're like, what? So let's say we got home around noon or 1 in the afternoon, unpack our stuff. We're back from the store by 4, and then I have my birthday dinner again.
It's amazing.
But I don't remember. I don't think I had a party that night.
Yeah.
Did
because
somebody
I think
sing you happy?
Wiped out. Someone sing happy birthday?
Always.
Always.
Yeah, I didn't not have a birthday cake until I moved to LA.
Wow. Which was how long you been in LA?
16 years.
Wow.
So I was a full-blown grown-up.
Was that tough when you first moved here? Because you had
I think moving to LA, everything about it was tough for me.
That's super tough.
Yeah.
I remember the first time being sick without your parents. For me, it was without my mom. I mean, my dad was just working, but it was to be sick. It's like having a birthday without the cake. It's like, oh, this is harder now.
Yeah.
You're in charge. I'm in charge of myself.
Yeah, everything's harder.
Yeah.
And then LA, that's why I have a certain. Whenever I see a kid show up at the Comedy Store, I'm like, all right, whatever I can do to help this person.
Yeah, like a new guy, you mean?
Yeah, because this city is it's tough.
Where'd you live when you first moved here?
When I first moved here, there was a kid that graduated with my younger brother.
Okay.
Who lived in Santa Monica.
Okay.
And there was one of his roommates was another girl that graduated with my younger brother. So I crashed on their couch for 10 days, moved into an apartment with 2 roommates. Their third roommate was moving out.
Right.
And these guys at a pizza place were like, we have a spot for you. So I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
So I lived in Santa Monica.
And you were doing comedy already?
Not really.
Okay. And how did you get into the Comedy Store scene?
Well, it's interesting because I had won back in 2000. I won this contest. It was sponsored. It was Laugh Your Bass Off. It was sponsored by Bass Al.
Okay, got it.
And
in Philly?
In Philly.
Okay.
And then the finals were hosted by Pauly Shore.
Oh my God!
And
serious?
He was like, dude,
yeah.
But he was like, by this point, I had been to LA on a vacation.
Yeah.
And quit my job.
You did.
Or I came back to Philly. I'm like, so long, suckers.
Yeah, I'm not doing this shit.
And then I didn't have enough money to move to LA, so I entered this contest. Pauly was like, hey, man, you're really funny. You should be at the Comedy Store. How long have you been doing this? I'm like, not really. Wow. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
And he was like, dude, you got something. So
That's cool. That's
yeah,
an
it was
awesome
totally
thing to
cool.
hear.
Yeah,
And he probably wasn't was he a movie star yet? At that point, he was definitely.
he had already made his movies. He already had his sitcom,
Yeah, okay,
but he was a known.
Yeah.
He was a celebrity.
Yeah.
And I moved to L.A. I had kept a piece of paper that his road manager wrote his cell phone down, and that guy who wound up being this guy Dean that ran the comedy store.
Dean.
Remember Dean?
I met Dean when I first moved out here. Yeah,
right.
That was his road manager.
Yes.
Oh my God. Doesn't Dean He told me he was selling tea in Hawaii, and everyone's like, he's selling tea, dude. He grows weed or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know
what the fuck's going on.
But I remember signing up for a couple open mics, and then Dean got me a job as a PA on Paulie's movie.
Okay.
And I remember it was like one of the hardest days. I didn't get home until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I remember it was like 2 in the morning when I was literally like carrying couches like that by myself down steps, and Paulie's like eating granola. He's like, bro, you're working hard, huh? I'm like, oh, God. But he was cool enough to call me that night when I got home. And he was like, I appreciate how hard you worked. I'm going to make sure you get in at the Comedy Store. Because I wanted to be a door guy.
That's cool.
And he got me a job answering phones there in January of 2001, which was great because it meant I no longer had to get picked out of a bucket for the open mic.
Yeah, right. You got the guaranteed stage time.
Guaranteed stage time, because the open mic, then you'd have to sign up on Saturday night.
Oh.
And that meant paying for parking on the Sunset Strip.
Right.
So it was like $20
and then
for a chance.
And then they would draw Sunday?
Yeah, for the following week.
That's ridiculous.
So it was like a 3-car trip.
Yeah, right.
3 trips up to the Sunset Strip.
And they used to do, well, now you sign up Sunday night and they pick it an hour later or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's a trip. If you haven't been to the Comedy Store, obviously I recommend it all nights, but the Sunday night open mic, you drive by at 6, 7 p.m., and you just see a line of comics.
Yeah, it's Monday nights now.
Monday nights, yeah. It's crazy. But Steve Simeone, very quickly, what is a great birthday you've had? I bet you've had a shitload.
Oh, so many great birthdays.
But what's one that pops out as soon as I said that?
Ooh, well, I remember the one gift that pops out.
Okay.
I remember my 5th birthday.
Everything's 5th birthday.
So I'm 4 years old.
Yeah.
And like this is like right in the peak. I also remember, I guess it must have been my 3rd birthday.
Okay.
Because that was the bicentennial year. And
your memory is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
Well, I remember because I was in like a little red, white, and blue jumper on my birthday. And then that's where the whole thought process was like, wait, it was Marky's birthday. Then it was my birthday. Now it's fireworks. So I'm like, okay, this is cool.
It's Marky and Steve's birthday celebration.
The rest of the country's caught up with this greatness. But for my 5th birthday, I remember telling everybody how I wanted this Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandfather's like, huh, what's Godzilla? I'm like, Pop, you don't understand. He's awesome.
Yeah, you're a math teacher. Get it together.
So, no, this is my grandfather.
Oh, sorry, grandfather.
Yeah. Old guy.
Yeah.
So I remember he loaded me in the car and took me to Kitty City so I could pick it out myself.
That's sick.
And it was the greatest. It was this giant Shogun warrior Godzilla, and he pressed this thing in the back and his tongue shot out like fire. Greatest gift
The greatest
ever.
gift ever. Where is it now, you think?
I think it's in my older brother's basement.
Okay.
But if not, I would totally buy one online.
Or I would want you to, show it to me and take a picture of it. But that's okay.
Dude, there's a great YouTube commercial for it.
What's it called?
Godzilla, Shogun Warrior.
Godzilla, Shogun Warrior. We also got the Connect 4. I'm gonna make sure we link to that. 2 great toys. Yeah. Steve Simeone, where can people find out? Where can people buy your albums? Where can people find out about your live dates?
Yeah, go to awesomesteve.com.
Yes, great website.
It's all on there. I do a podcast called Goodtimes. I would love to have you on it.
I'd love to do it.
It's also here on the All Things Comedy
I don't think
Network.
I'm available, unfortunately, but I'm just kidding.
Sorry, some people just don't belong. You give me the Judge Smails.
Would love to do that. And where do they get it's on the All Things Comedy.
Yep.
AwesomeSteve.com. Twitter?
At Steve Simeone. And All Things Comedy put out my CD called Remember This.
Okay, great.
So it's all there.
That's awesome. I'm sorry that your 8th birthday sucked.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good.
Yeah, it still wasn't that bad.
Still being pretty good. But I'm sorry it was your worst birthday. Thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Dude, thank you for letting me hang out. It flew by.
You got it. That's Steve Simeone, ladies and gentlemen. It's great. June 28th, 8th birthday. I mean, Steve, it was a little bit of a stretch asking him to do this podcast because he's so positive. He's so optimistic. Sometimes you want to smack him in the face because you're like, quit being such a fucking, like, happy person. But he just is that way. He is that way. He is that way in real life. We got to make one correction. Aaron pointed out, thank you, Aaron. French Lick is in Indiana. Okay, the hick from French Lick. Steve had said Kentucky. I knew it was Indiana. What am I going to do? Correct my guest? No, you just say Kentucky, and then you move on from there. I'm going to reach out to him about donating blood. Regular Hero is someone a foundation he mentioned, as well as Homeboy Industries. I'll make sure to tweet out. I don't know if we can even do this on All Things Comedy, but the Connect 4 YouTube and the Godzilla Shogun YouTube commercial. Do I have a blog? Do you guys have a blog? We'll figure it out. If you just check us out, go to the All Things Comedy page, go to worstbirthday.com. We'll figure out a way to put those YouTubes, or just YouTube it yourself, you fucking lazy bitch. YouTube Google Shogun commercial. I'm excited. Or excuse me, YouTube Godzilla Shogun. That's Steve Simeone. Check him out, awesomesteve.com. This is the Worst Birthday Podcast. Please, if you tweet to us, tweet using the hashtag WorstBDayPod. You can always email me questions, concerns, guests that you think will be kick-ass. It's Michael at michaelkosta.com. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. If you leave a rating and a review, I'll suck your dick. How about that? Today's day and age, it doesn't matter if you have a good product. It only matters if people say it's good on the internet. It's bullshit, but it is what it is. So leave a positive review. Leave a review. I prefer positive, but the reviews are they all add up. So thank you very much for doing that. Every Thursday we have a new Worst Birthday Podcast. Go to michaelkosta.com for all of your live dates. And I love you guys. Hope you have a great birthday. Thanks.